Joining us now is Edmund Tayao, President and CEO of Political Economic Elemental Researchers and Strategists, or PEERS. Sir, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone.
All right.
Napaka-eventful this week.
Napaka-eventful. I don't wanna sound chismoso. I don't wanna sound hinala. Pero ano ang read nyo, sir, sa scheduled official business magkikita ni PBBM at Mayor Lenny?
Well, anything is possible, Angelo, to be honest, no? Of course, pagdating sa paggugobyerno, siyempre may kasamang politika yan. So we can only second guess what other matters can be discussed, no, during the meeting. We have to take note that in politics, there are no permanent friends, sabi nga nila, only permanent interest. So, and then there's also a saying, no? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So, in other words, everything is possible, and Mayor Lenny has been visited as well by the Vice President, no? Especially during the midterm elections. So, in other words, there's there's always a possibility that political interest will be discussed during the encounter.
But how critical, sir, is VP Lenny's position right now in terms of they say siya daw ang pwedeng maging swing vote because medyo tight ang numbers ni PBBM camp and the Duterte camp, and wherever the pinks will sway may be a big help to any camp.
The numbers of the so-called pink, no? Actually, nagpauso naman ng pink na yan, etong mga DDS
That's
din.
right,
no?
that's right.
Mahilig silang maglagay ng mga branding. But let me say that this group is very much identified with the name Aquino, no? And the same alliance that was formed by the Liberal Party before, no? In other words, having said that, parang Marcos and Duterte lang yan, merong bailiwick, no? So sa madalit sabi, there's a constant base of support, no, as far as that particular group is concerned. And therefore, if the assumption is Mayor Lenny is the assumed symbol of that faction, of that base of support, then the endorsement or the support of the good mayor can be considered, no, as a way to convince, no, their base support to swing support to whichever group successfully courts them.
It's interesting that you said that. We also spoke with Professor Clarita Carlos yesterday and another analyst the other day, and most of them are saying, in essence, yes, the Duterte bloc is a very strong bloc, but in essence, in the current political landscape, there are really two tested and solid bases right now, which is still the Aquinos and the Marcoses at this point. So do you still believe ganun pa rin ang landscape ngayon? Hindi pa masyadong tested the DDS on its own?
Alam mo, nagbabago yung landscape, Angelo, no? Palaging nagbabago yan, hindi yan constant. Ang hindi nagbabago siguro ang sinasabi nila nila Dr. Carlos is etong mga identified groups, no? They will always have a base of support, but whether or not that base of support remains as it is, as it was before, medyo alanganin na. If you remember, for example, ang ipinagyayabang ng mga Duterte noong 2022, mas maraming boto ang pangalawang pangulo, ano? At hanggang 2023, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, no, ang mga public approval ratings, no, has registered her to about 70, even 80%.
That's
if I'm not mistaken, no? Pero pag tinignan mo ngayon consistently, no, nasa 30%. So kung susumahin mo, no, kahit na nananatili siyang positive, ang laki ng ibinaba niya, no? Wala na siya doon sa 50% mark, which means 7 out of 7 out of 10 voters, no, can be considered as either being with the Marcoses or the Aquinos or undecided.
Yes.
No? That's that's why probably tamang-tama itong suot ko. Yun yung gray
area, the gray zone
natin, no? That's the gray. Now, apart from that, whether we like it or not, medyo mabigat ang bagahe ng pangalawang pangulo. So kahit pa sabihin natin na may base of support siya kasi yung tanong mo kanina kung malakas pa din sila, hindi ba nagbabago? Sa tingin ko napakalaki ng ibinago, Angelo. Lalong-lalo na sunod-sunod itong mga pangyayari. Lahat ng kaalyado niya nabansagang senador, no? So whether we like it or not, nag-i-stick yung imaheng yun. In fact, when I was asked kung ano sa tingin ko why she declared this early, ang assumption ko is siguro naisip na ng pangalawang pangulo na magandang pagkakataon to na finally sagutin niya yung mga issue kasi ilang beses na Angela na tinanong siya no tungkol sa West Philippine Sea. Alam natin ang isinagot niya diyan. That's not her job. That's the DFA's job, and that her brother has already spoken about it. She was asked about was this the espionage activities of China, if I'm not mistaken, and anything related to China for that matter. And ang usual na sagot is next question, please. This has gone so many times, no? And even the allied political leaders of the vice president, halatang-halata mo na maka-China, no? So sa madalit sabi, pagka binalikan natin yung mga surveys before at ang lumalabas napakalaking issue ito para sa mga botante kung finally no the vice president can show that she's actually no other countries lucky, no, but she's really herself, and that she's for the interest of the Filipino, then I suppose that she can recover significantly with that, no. But precisely that's the question kasi ang dami ng okasyon no, na alam mo ilang beses tayong ginipit, ilang beses na ang tawag dito talagang halatang-halata mong iniipit yung mga barko natin, naputulan ng daliri, hindi pala Coast Guard yun, no? I was told the Navy personnel yun. Perhaps we can check that, no? And nung makalawa lang, no, may nahuli na naman na Chinese sleeper agent, no?
Yeah, yung Mongolian spy daw.
Mag-aaral daw ng pagkapiloto. Piloto na pala from no less from the from the People's Liberation Army of China. And I think a month ago, another sleeper agent was also arrested in Bicol, no? At hanggang dulo pati family, pati Pogo, wala tayong nadidinig sa kanila, no? Lalo na sa pangalawang pangulo pagdating sa issue na yan. So I suppose well, the vice president was this seasoned, no, political leader, no, and I suppose alam niya na whether she likes it or not, she has to no, this issue once and for all.
Right. But we're talking about Vice President, since we're talking about Vice President Sara Duterte, what can you say about her announcement the other day, no? Her intention to run for the presidential election in the 2028 elections. Yung timing, of course, it's also a question. What are your thoughts on that?
Yun nga yung sagot ko dyan, Angela, no? Which is very much related to your previous question, whether there are still bases. There are still bases, but alam mo, shifting sands yan no? Siguro pwede nating sabihin na yung mga established names already, like the Marcoses, Aquino, and now the Dutertes, meron talagang base support yan. Sabihin na lang natin na 10-20 yan, no? But for them to be 30, 40, 50, yan yung mga nakukuha nila from the previous undecided, no? Now, having said that, what do I think about the reason why she announced this early? Well, yun na nga, baka naman naisip na ng pangalawang pangulo na meron, this is the best opportunity for her to settle so many issues, including the allegations, no? Pending still allegations that she remains unable to answer, no, yung sa impeachment, no. At actually ang daming na hostage dito, Angela, no, pati Supreme Court, which used to be free from partisanship, and now obvious, no, na ang tawag dito, pabor sa kanila yung decision. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this is a very important incidents and events. And take note that even the legal luminaries are one in the same in their opinions as far as the Supreme Court decision is concerned. But nonetheless, no, the impeachment case is still there. And we can see it in a different light, no, that makakaganda itong decision ng Supreme Court because this time around, the House of Representatives can no longer just decide on the basis of numbers, no, but they really have to weigh the the evidences presented before they can rule on whether to proceed with the impeachment or not. So I think the reason why she declared early is precisely she may probably, and I'm really hoping that she sees this declaration as an opportunity to finally put to rest many of the a long list of allegations to her.
But Professor, having said that po, no, I think announcement is different from accountability. So paano po 'yun?
Hindi naman siya different kasi yung announcement parang sinasabi mo you're already officially opening yourself no? So sa madalit sabi kaya ako binanggit itong mga issue na ito kasi nung siya ay pangalawang pangulo lang, yun lang yung titulo niya, hindi pa siya deklarado na kandidato sa pagkapangulo, pwede pa niyang sabihin na hindi ko trabaho 'yan, no? So, in other words, I'm not the person to ask when it comes to that issue. But if you're running for president, you're aiming to be no less than commander-in-chief. Aba, fair game na. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng issue na may kinalaman sa bansa, kailangan maitanong at kailangan masagot niya. So, yung declaration is very relevant to accountability in this regard because you would like to measure the capacity, and the qualification of the one offering, or let us say, and emphasize applying to hold the top job of the government.
Alright, sige, marami pa tayong gusto itanong but unfortunately, we don't have much time. Sa susunod po ulit, pag po kayo ay libre ulit, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras and of course your insights.
Salamat.
Professor Ed Montayo, President and CEO of Fierce. Good morning.